everybody, welcome to the GBA weekly presentation. Before I'm going to start, I have one question to ask from you guys. Anyone found any bug in any mobile application? Did you find any bug? Or is it perfectly fine when you are using it? It seems no one has found any bug. So it seems the mobile application are tested really good in their testing process. That's why we need to that's why I thought about picking up this topic, the mobile application testing. So first see what is today outline. I'm going to talk about what is mobile application and about that, and then types of testing and test case writing and the testing process. In this outline, I'm not going to only talk about the theoretical aspect, I'm going to talk about the practical aspect as well. So first we'll see what is a mobile application. Mobile application is a software application designed to run on a mobile device. I don't think I have to explain this further because all of you guys have used the mobile application. So first let's see what is the significance of the mobile application. As I identified, there are different screen sizes. Your mobile device screen size will be different from others. So you have in Android also there are several screen sizes, and there's a wide varieties of mobile devices. You might let's say you are searching to buy a mobile phone. There are so many mobile devices available in the market. Maybe Android, even in Android there's Samsung, Nexus and Motorola. There are so many device varieties in the market, and then different mobile operating system. You can find Android, iOS, BlackBerry. Likewise, there are several operating systems available in the market, and also different OS versions. Even though I told Android, they are releasing different OS versions like Lollipop, KitKat, Marshmallow. Likewise, even iOS, they are releasing some versions, and different mobile network operators. When you're buying a mobile device, you see in the specification some are support only with 3G, some are only with 4G. Likewise, there are different mobile network operators, and even you can turn on Wi-Fi in your device and connect to Wi-Fi and use. So there are different mobile network operators and frequent updates. In OS operation systems, they are releasing several updates. So that's also one significance in mobile applications. So as in all the other testings, we have identified different types of testing. So let's see what are the types of mobile what are the types of testing which related to mobile application. Usability testing. Usability testing needs to be done to make sure the application is easy to use for the users, and it provides the experience which user satisfies. And compatibility testing. As I told you earlier, there are different devices in the market and different OS versions. So according to your mobile application target group, you need to do compatibility testing on different types of OS and devices as well. And interface testing. In interface testing, you need to consider about the menu options, buttons, navigations, those things. And services testing. Most of the mobile applications we will use API services. Those are online and offline. You need to, in services testing, you need to do offline testing as well as online testing. And if you are using a third party APIs, you need to do testing like what happens if that service is not available. Those things you need to do. And low level resource testing. In low-level resource testing, you need to see how will the mobile application behave when the mobile device resources are limited. when the memory is running out, how will the mobile application behaves, and how much what is the size of the mobile application, and if you are like using a chat application, you can share pictures. In that case, you are creating temporary files. Those things you need to consider in low level resource testing and performance testing. I think this is very important one, because if you are using a mobile application, if it is really slow, will you like to use it? In my case, I don't like to use, especially if I am using a game. If it is slowing maybe the app or device, I don't like to use them. So we need to do a performance testing, especially in a different network operators as well, and operational testing. In here, what I mean is, you need to have a backup plan. Like, let's say you're upgrading your mobile application. If it fails, what should happen? Those things need to consider in operational testing and installation testing. Mobile application will be installed in your user's devices. So how will that behave? And in the uninstallation process, will the temporary files or the files you are going to create will be removed? Those things you need to test. And the security testing. Currently you see most of the banks, they provide mobile banking. In mobile banking, the information we are using is very confidential. We need to have a secure method when you are developing the those type of mobile applications. And in testing, you need to consider about the security of those information. Those things need to cover in the security testing. And let's see the testing strategy, what we need to consider in mobile application testing. First, we need to see the device selection. How are you going to select the devices you are going to test? You can analyze the market and choose the devices that are widely used. Maybe this can be depend on your target group. Maybe you are developing a mobile application to particular company. So maybe they have given that company has given iPad to all the employees. So they are going to install that mobile application in that. So in that case, you don't need to consider about the phones, because they are specifically targeting to install this mobile application in iPads. And in some cases, they are going to do customized tablets. Like in Untitled application, the tablet app, they have a separate customized tablet. And sometimes it will be like open to everyone. In that case, you need to analyze the market trends and consider about the devices they are using. Let's say if you are targeting the teenagers, in that case you need to analyze the market. What are the devices that teenagers are using? Those things you need to consider in selecting the devices. Of course, we can't test in all these devices. So that's why we will need emulators to test. So let's first see what is an emulator. As you can see, it is a software application for personal computer which creates a virtual machine version of a mobile device. With that, you can, with emulators, you can do testing. I have identified few emulators. So I have divided into iOS, Android and Windows. Let's see Android emulators first. You can see Android. You can find Android emulator, Genymotion, Droid4X, Xamarin Android Player, Duos. Android emulator is, I think, quite familiar with you. It comes with Android. Once you install Android, you can use the Android emulator. I thought of doing a small demonstration about Genymotion. I think this is new to you. So let me do the demonstration for you guys. Once you So once you install the Genymotion, you will be able to see this screen. Now I have already created few devices here like Google Nexus 4, LG Optimus. Likewise, I'll show you how to create these devices with Genymotion. So what you have to do is simply click on this add button and you can see all the available devices here. If you want, you can filter it as well according to Android version and maybe the device model. Let's say I choose this one, and you just need to click next and you will be able to see the device properties. And if you are fine with those things, you can just give a name here and click on next. I'm not going to click next here because after I click next, it will download certain files. So, and after you click next, you can see the created device here like LG Optimus. Let's say you are going to do a testing on low level resources. In that case, maybe you need to change some settings. So what you can do is click on this settings button and it will open up a configuration panel. Through this, you can change processor, base memory and the screen size, and you can give some options to Android navigation bar, use the virtual keyboard for text input. Those things you can give. After you give all these things, you can just click on this and click this start button and it will open up the device like this. Now this is my device. Now I need to test. So how I am going to install the APK? In that case, I just need to have the APK file and just drag and drop right here, and it will transfer to the emulator and it will install. It will take the time and it's installing. So the splash screen, and that's how you need to install the APK in Genymotion. So let's go back to the presentation. We have already discussed about the Android emulators. So let's see the iOS ones. We have iOS simulator and Mobi One Studio, iPhone simulator, iPad simulator and SmartFace Airphone emulator. I think you guys already familiar with iOS simulator, which comes with Mac. When you open Xcode, you can use the iOS simulator to test. I'm going to show you that as well. So let's connect to the Mac. In here, once you do a deployment to the Mac, it will generate the Xcode project. What you have to do is open the Xcode project and you can choose the device you want to run this application and just select that and click on this run button, and it will open up the simulator and run this mobile application. In hybrid mobile application development, we all know anyway we will need a Mac to deploy this build. So here you can see the 5-way screen, but you can scale it up, those things, and do the testing on this simulator. But in this one, mostly there are some constraints as well, like testing on push notification will not be cannot be do in the simulators. Those things you need to do in real devices. Like this, you can use the simulator as well. So going back here, in Windows we Windows phones, when you are testing, you will have Visual Studio emulator to test. And as I told you, even though you're testing an emulator, you really need to test in a real device. Otherwise, you will not be able to find the bugs will actually occur. So, in emulators, and actually mobile devices are really expensive, so we will not be able to buy all those devices which are going to test. So that's why this concept came to the world called cloud-based testing, which we can call as device farm as well. Device farm is provide access to hundreds of smartphones, tablets, device emulators, and test development, automation and collaboration tools. In simple words, they will give like thousands or hundreds of real devices. You can upload your APK file or IPA file and do the testing on those devices. There are a few device farms available in the internet. I found few: AWS device farm, Keynote, Source Labs, Test Drive, Xamarin Test Cloud. I think we are moving into in GVO. We are going to use the Xamarin as well. So I researched a bit about the Xamarin Test Cloud. So I thought it will be better if I do a demonstration on the Xamarin Test Cloud. So let's go back and see how we can use the Xamarin Test Cloud. To use the Xamarin Test Cloud, you will need to have a Xamarin account, Test Cloud account like this. Once you create it, you can see samples here as well. And to do the testing, you will need to write some test cases. You can use Visual Studio. First you need to integrate the Xamarin to the Visual Studio, install it, and in this case I have downloaded sample project, Xamarin project, which has one text field to enter the credit card and click a button to validate it. So I have written a test case here, type 9 numbers, and if it is more than less than 50, give a validation error. I'm going to do a test on this. In Xamarin, they are given a tool called Xamarin Test Recorder, which will easy for you guys to record the testing as well, testing types. Once you integrate that, you can see here red button. So when you click this, it says record new test, and select the APK and record the test as well, which I am not going to do now. Maybe in upcoming presentation someone can do a really good presentation about Xamarin test recording and test cloud and altogether everything. So once you create this test file, you just need to build this project, and it will create the APK file here. So this is my project in Droid. In bin I can see the APK file here. So now I need to do a testing on the test cloud. I just have to click on this new test run button. It will open up available applications I have tested. So here simple credit card validator. I'm going to do the testing on this. So I'm going to select that, and then you can see all the available devices. You can choose sort like this: availability, market share, name, OS version, and you can select by from the factor, phone or tablet, and the manufacturer, and the processor, and memory, core, with those things. And earlier I talked about the market share. Maybe this is giving a good opportunity for us to like select the top 20. Likewise, so in here what you have to do is, however, select some device you are going to test. Here I am going to select 2 devices, and select, and then I can either create a new test series or use an existing one. I'm going to use this existing one and click on next. Because I have written my code in C#, I choose C# and I'm running this on Windows, so I'm clicking this, and it will generate a sample code which you need to run in a command prompt. What you have to do is go into your project folder, this one, and open the command prompt. So I'm here, and it says us to first include the testcloud.exe path. It's available under packages, Xamarin UI test, tools, this one. So I'm drag and drop here. So I have the both file and the file path, and it says submit, and the APK file. It also need to have the path. So I'm going to go here and select the APK file and drag and drop to here. So I have the APK file and the path, and rest you can just copy paste. This is the, with this number you will connect with the test cloud and the devices, series, local, and app name, and the username, and there's another one called assembly director. We need to have the enter the path of the assembly directory. It is here under UI test, bin, debug. You can just copy paste this path here, and once you enter, it will start communicating with the Xamarin Test Cloud and uploading the APK file from the machine, because I have already tested this before doing the presentation. It says already uploaded, otherwise it will display as the percentage of the uploading and everything, and it says status validating. And let's go back to the Xamarin Test Cloud. I click done, and this is my application. Here it says running on 2 devices, 2 completed, 0 pending. This is my demonstration test series, and it's going to be run here. It will be take a bit of time to test, so I'll show already tested one. Here you can see after test, after doing some test, you can see the number of tests you have done, how much fail and pass, and the app sizes, peak memory, those things. Let's take this test run and go to see the details. Here you can see the test status and device, how many device failed, and device time, all the other details. And if you want to now, you can see here there are some failed test cases. So I want to see what happened here. So what I have to do is just click on this, and it will display all these things here, and all the devices it ran with screenshots. And let's take this one because it has so many issues, and you can see in which devices test was failed. Apparently 93 devices was failed, like this. If you want to see the details, just click on it, and you have the stack trace here, and test failures, and the device log as well. So I think this will be easier for developers as well to track the issues on the devices. Like this, you can do testing on the submarine test cloud. So this is all about submarine test cloud. We were talking about the testing strategy. So let's go back there. We have already talked about the device farm, and then we need to think about whether you are going to do the automation or manual testing. How do you decide whether you are going for manual or automation testing? If the application contains new functionality, or if the application requires testing once or twice, you can go for manual testing. And if you need to do regression testing and there are complex scenarios which need to be tested, you can go for automation testing. Actually, they are more encouraging us to do manual testing than automation testing, because it will, then only you can feel the actual user experience. And most of the mobile projects are short term. In that case, there's no point wasting so much time on automation. So you can go for manual testing. Likewise, you can decide on whether you are going for automation testing or manual testing. And you need to consider about the network configuration. As I told you earlier, it is important to validate the application on different networks like 2G, 3G, 4G or Wi-Fi. Likewise, you can decide on the testing strategy. Let's see how you are going to write the test cases. In writing test cases, you need to consider about the battery usage. If the application drains battery, users will not going to use the mobile application. So in that case, you need to cover the battery usage when you are writing test cases, and speed of the application. Remember here, you need to write test cases to test in different networks as well, because that can be that can be a factor of the speed and mobile data requirement. Some countries mobile data is very expensive, so if you can, please cover in test case writing how much mobile data will require to download and install the mobile application and communicate with servers as well, and memory storage requirement. If you are using local storage, how those things, and creating temporary files, deleting those things, how much memory needs to install the application, those things need to be covered in writing test cases, and of course functionalities of the application. And let's go to the testing process. And first, from the testing types I have mentioned, you need to identify testing types which you need to test the mobile application, like usability, functionality, compatibility, performance, likewise, and the manual testing, whether you are going for manual testing or automation testing. And then in the testing process, you need to do a performance test as well. Here, different loads, different networks, different locations. And here I have mentioned few tools which you can use to do the load testing, performance testing in mobile application. JMeter, Neoload, Visual Studio Load Test, and Cylindriot. Those things you can use for to the performance testing. And of course, you will have some bugs in mobile application. In that case, let's see how you can use how you are going to report the bugs. You can use TestVary, Bugnet, Jira, Excel sheets to report the bugs. I think last three are familiar for you guys. I'll show you how you can use TestVary for reporting bugs. In that case, you just need to have a TestVary account. You can sign up easily there. So I have already logged in, and you can use TestVary for distributing the app to the POs as well, and even for the testers. So when you're testing, you can just download the application through TestVary, so it will record all the actions you are doing. So I think this will be very easy for developers. Let's say when some crash happens, maybe PO is telling you guys there was a crash and there's some issue there, but testers maybe not be able to reproduce that. In that case, you can easily track what happened here. All the sessions are recorded here, and just click on it and see the recordings. They have a video also and the device log as well, so it will load here. This can use for both Android and iOS. So this is the application log, and this is the recording of what are the things the user has done. Likewise, so the red things are bugs, crashes. Those things you can just by creating new issues, you can record these as well. Maybe you can just copy the session ID and create a bugnet, record this in the bugnet as well. Likewise, you can use the test query for testing and tracking those things. So likewise, you can do the bug reporting. And before you go live in mobile application, it is very necessary to do beta testing. Here you can use TestFlight and iTunes Connect to do the beta testing. I can actually show you guys that too. Let's do a simple demonstration on that. Once you log into iTunes Connect, you can see the apps here. I'm just going to go through on this. You need to select whatever the device, you need to select the application you are going to do the beta testing. With iTunes, you can easily upload the app to the iTunes Connect, and once you select this application, you can see here TestFlight. With this, you can do an internal testing if you wish to, but you can do the internal testing only with the users you have in this iTunes Connect under users and roles. You can create the users here and invite them to use the this app and test this. And external testing you can do with anyone. What you have to do is upload a beta testing version and select that as a beta testing app, and then you can invite testers to test, but this will take bit of review time. It's not like the final review in iTunes, so you need to do the you can do the testing as well. In Android, there's another one called beta testing. Here they have already given that after you upload the app, it will generate a link here. You can just share this link with anyone, then they can just download the application and participate in the beta testing. So likewise, you can do the beta testing. And finally, the launch plan. In Android, you need to have a developer account in Google Console, and then you need to create the key store file in the Android Studio and sign the application. Then you can launch in the Play Store. And iOS, actually in Android, it will take not take bit longer to review the application. But in iOS, you just need to have a developer account for $99 and then create the certificates and provision profile, sign it, and just upload it to the store. And it will take at least 2 weeks of review time. After the review, it will available in the market for you guys to download. So these are the references I used for creating this presentation. Thank you very much, guys.